Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy, and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. Today is Saturday, December 26th, 2020, and we are here for a WIP Parade. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for checking me out, and for returning viewers, thank you. I really appreciate you guys coming back and all of the support. It has this past Wednesday was my 1 year Flosstube anniversary, and so it's been a great ride. I know it's been a crazy year, but definitely have had a lot of great support over the year in Flosstube. And so for that, it has been great. So today is just going to be showing you all of the WIPs that I have worked on this year, new starts that I have started since that very first video, and all of that good stuff. So I did receive some awesome stuff for Christmas, but I will hold that until next week, where I can show you all of that kind of stuff, just so that this is just my WIP parade. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, shall we? The first piece that I'm going to show is a restart. So if you did check out my first video, you would have seen this piece, and it would have been a lot further along. But I'm an aida stitcher. I love aida. I don't want to switch from aida, but this particular piece has a ton of fractional stitches, and the way that particular piece is looking on aida, I'm not happy with it. It's just maybe my own stitching, because you can absolutely 100% do fractional stitches on aida. I am not liking the way that it's looking. And so I've been watching Priscilla and Chelsea, and I know they all stitch on Monaco, and they talk about how that is the like next step to go from aida. And so I figured I'd go ahead and give it a try. And because this is a seasonal stitch, so of course that means there's 4 of them, and I want to be able to have them all done. And so I figured if I'm not liking it on aida, why not try something else? So I figured I'd go ahead and give Monaco a try. And the piece we're talking about is the Summer Stained Glass from Ursula Michael. And so the original piece, I had this whole block just about done. I had a couple of these flowers done, and then I had all of the border. And I love how I love this piece. This thing is filled chock full of fractional stitches, and I'm just not liking how it's looking on that aida. So I got a piece of 28 count Monaco Charles Craft and restarted it. So it's still on the Q-snap. I didn't take this one off. I've got one more piece on a Q-snap, and then everything else is off of the hoops and Q-snaps, and I actually ran an iron across, so things look nice. So here's my start. This is just black, just the DMC part of the border. I believe this is actually just even one night's worth of stitching. And so in the new year, I'd like to get back to this and see if I can get working my way through that, and see if I can get some more done, so I can get to those fractionals and try that out. So it was a joy learning how to do 2 over 2. I'm used to just, aida. You just stitch from hole to hole. There's no over 1, over 2, or whatever. So there was definitely a couple of times that I caught myself not quite making the full 2 over 2, over 2 stitching, and so having to kind of teach myself with that. Watch some great videos that helped. I forget now who it was. I think it might have been the gal that does the peppermint purple, the black work from Peppermint Purple. I think it was that gal did a video, a tutorial showing how to stitch over 2, and it was a great video. It helped a lot click. So this needle minder is from Abby Top Knot Stitcher Shop. I always want to add needle in there for some reason. But yeah, so that's a fun little piece. And so the next piece that I'm going to go ahead and show is Carolyn Manning Designs. It is from the Shooting Star collection, and it is labeled Shooting Star. I'm not going to be putting all of the pictures in, so we'll just show it from my phone. I love these colors. Oops. absolutely love all of these colors. These are my colors right here. And so I'm working up here in this corner right here with all of that purple and getting into the green. And I still have it on a Q-snap because I'm really close to finishing that first page, and I really don't want to take it off the Q-snap just for one page. Or, you know, before the one page can be done. So this is stitched on a piece of 16 count white Aida, 2 strands full cross. And like I said, loving these colors, absolutely loving them. So I've got a little bit of fill in right here, just down here at the bottom. I think maybe that little spot is from the first page. This whole piece has been really easy to work. I have the pattern electronically on my iPad, and so I'm able to work across pages, both to the side and down, because of how, you know, these little motifs, I don't want to say motifs, but just these little blocks. I don't want to do, you know, 2 or 3 stitches from one page just to have to, when I get down to the page below it, pull that color back out again for just a few more stitches. So it's been great to just be able to work across. I don't have Pattern Keeper because iPad. I'm really hoping that in the sometime in 2021 that the Maker will release it for iOS. But for now, I'm making it work with, I use the Books app, I've used Goodreader. So yeah. This needle minder came from Gina's Unique Boutique. I believe I got this one on Etsy. Okay. Great piece. And so the next piece that I'm going to show is from a magazine. This, I started it for there's a Facebook group called the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge. It was started from Carolyn Zuck and Robin Stitches. So Carolyn is, Robin Stitches, Bird Eye Stitches is her channel name. Carolyn Zook, C Zook Stitches, and Robin from Bird's Eye Stitches. Sorry for messing up your name, Robin. Started the Magazine Monthly Facebook challenge group to get you stitching out of your magazines. So this one is stitched from the May 2013 Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. That's the cover. Did I say May 2013? And so each month there has been a theme, and I believe this one was for November, that it was to stitch something that, like something thankful or thank you cards. And I had come across this piece. I was wanting to stitch it when the magazine actually first came out back in 2013. Been going through a tough relationship that was ending, and when I first saw it, my first thought was, yes, absolutely, this is the truth, during that time. So to put it into the thankful factor, is that I'm thankful where my life has come now as a result of where I was at in 2013 and where I am now. I'm very thankful for what I have and where I'm at. So the name of the piece is The Best of Spring. Designer is Ruth Caig. And then it says the best is yet to come. So that's why I say, yep, that's the truth. So, because, you know, like I said, I'm thankful with where my life is at, and, so, yeah. So I am not doing this by any means called for. No called for colors, material, nothing. So I have the Color and Cotton Threads of the Month from Threads Entwined, and so I figure this would be a great piece to start using some of those threads from. So this is stitched on a piece of, it was just like a piece of blue Aida, ice blue, sky blue, I don't remember, but so it's just a really blue piece of soft blue, and the red is Carmine, again, Color and Cotton. The gray is Chimney Sweep, and this really super pretty color that is just one thread. It is Pink Lemonade, and I figured it was a really perfect variegated color to make the really pretty flowers for that. So I am doing maxing back that I just put down. Basically doing every other color or every other word in the Carmine and Chimney sweep, and then all of the little flowers in Pink Lemonade. So this, I believe, I want to say this was like 1 or 2 stitching nights that I was able to get that. Might have been a couple of sit-down sessions. So, yeah. 16 count, some kind of blue. I don't remember. So the next piece, moving right along here. This is Boo Friends by Diane Arthurs. I absolutely adore this piece. This has been such a fun piece to stitch. I started stitching this for Laura, Stitching by the Shore. It was I believe it was in October, her birthday month, and so she had a sale for pumpkin birthday sale, hashtag on Instagram, and so I started this to help her celebrate her birthday. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Aida that I realized a little bit ago, like within the past couple of weeks, that the pattern dimensions are backwards. So it's labeled as being 104 by 123 high. Well, it should actually be 123 wide and 104 tall. So, it's not enough of an issue. I have plenty of margins, 20 stitches wasn't really that big of a deal in terms of, with the amount of border that I've given it, it'll be just fine. So this has been such a fun piece. I need to get back to it. It's a little bit dirty. And here we go. So I do have the cat all back stitched so far. Obviously down into the body I have not done yet, but the face, it looks like I still have to put in his nose. I think there's a line that runs down. And then I'll have to put in the sign. And I haven't back stitched anything else except for a little bit around the hat and the eyes. So holding it up, as you can see, it's a piece of vertical. It really should have gone this way. But the way they actually have it spelled right out in the pattern was to have it more vertical. So, but like I said, it'll be just fine because this is as far to the right side as it'll be. And so, not going to be that much of an issue. I'll probably put it in a frame when it's done, but for now, yeah, like I said, I'm not too worried about that margin not being too much. Moving along, I started this one for another Magazine Monthly Challenge piece. I believe it was another October start where it was to do something, I think spooky or scary. Might have been Halloween, I don't remember exactly. But this is the sugar, it's labeled as Sugar Skull Pillow. Artwork is by Brienne Jackson, and it is from the 2016 Just Cross Stitch. Everybody's seen the Halloween issues with that black cat on the front. And so here we go. Just all monochromatic. So I am stitching this in just 310 DMC. And I am stitching this on a piece of 16 count in Picture This Plus Monster Mash. And I love this material. It is looking so good. And yeah, I would say that's true to color. It is a bright green with some splashes of gray purple. So I've got, it's pretty much mirror image, left and right. So I've got a little bit more down here before I can start moving down to the bottom of this skull. This has been a great piece to be able to fit into challenges within like semi-sane stitchers and that, where you can just be able to do a whole bunch of stitches, quick, easily. So. So the next piece that I have, I actually do not have a picture for it. This was a gift chart from BendyStitchyDesigns. Michelle gifted this to her Patreon members. I think it was Patreon and channel members. It's been a couple months ago now, and she has actually not even released the chart yet, and so so it was a very, very gracious gift of her to share with us. And she stitched hers on a piece of really pretty pink material. I don't remember exactly what she stitched hers on, and when I saw what she was stitching on, I knew I had the piece that would be perfect for it. And so the name of the chart is Berry Bird, and she says that it is going to be a purple finch, and so there's going to be some raspberries down below underneath and the bird, and then over here it's going to say Berry Bird. And yeah, that's pretty true to what the color I think looks like. So the piece of material is a color and cotton. It's a big piece. It's not going to be anywhere near that big. That's why I started down in the corner so that I can be able to save the piece for something else. But this was stitched on a piece, color and cotton, June of the month. There was no special name to it. It just was June of the month. Fabric of the month, I'm sorry. So yeah, love this piece. I need to get back to it. As we all say, you know, doing WIP parades, you're going to come across the things that you want to keep stitching on, right? And, excuse me, I've got another digital pattern here that I want to show. And this is Mini Dark Goddess. Artwork is by Cavalaris. May she rest in peace. And charted by Heaven and Earth. Absolutely love the colors of this one. It's stunning. I am just up here in this corner. I'm starting to get into all of this white work over here. So I've got this one, I have page number 1 done, and then I've again easy to digital pattern going across. I've worked down a little bit to the page below it, and then I'm mainly working on page 2. Another 16 count white aida, 2 strands full cross. Oh, purple. I love the colors. It's so pretty. So this was the end of page 1. I just stopped at the end of the page, and so then I've worked in page 2. I was using this for semi-sane stitchers this month's WIP Wranglers, and so I know there was a lot of, I was going back and forth in a few different pieces that had whites, and so then I finally decided to work up here and get into some more purple. So absolutely love that. 2021, the group Full Coverage Fanatics has a no, I wasn't going to use this one. They've got a challenge to do 21,000 stitches on a single piece in 2021. And it was actually the Shooting Star that I'm going to use. I was thinking it was this one, but Shooting Star is going to have that one. They do have a lot of challenges coming up next month, and so, well, starting next month, and so there'll be other pieces for that. Other challenges for that particular piece. So next piece, we're going to go ahead and move right along to, this is StoneStreet StitchWorks. This was a newer piece that I just started not that long ago. It is called Bookhouse. And I love this piece. It is so pretty. And I love the saying, I lived in books more than I lived anywhere else, which is very true because I was born in Florida and then moved here to Michigan when I was 3, and I've moved a couple different places here within the town, but I haven't. I've lived in 2 cities, basically. This is stitched on a piece of 18 count cream aida. And so I have the house structure built. I still have to fill in the windows. Excuse me. And then I have the tree to the left, just the trunk done. So yeah. This stitched up really quickly. Again, I used this for one of the WIP Wranglers Semi-Sane Stitchers group challenge, and so very easy to be able to whip that house out with the stitches that I needed to do that. So I still have to do the door, and like I said, the tree, I'm sorry, yeah, I have to do the trees, but fill in the windows, which I have started. Another piece I want to get back to. And so we're going to go right back to Bendy Stitchy. I was thinking that I had all of hers stacked together, and apparently I missed one. So this is BendyStitchyDesigns, Trimming the Tree. Adorable piece. I love it. So I am changing colors. I have this snow portion here I did in a toile. I'm hoping I can be able to do the whole Santa in a toile. I just not really sure because sometimes the Etoile Blanc is turning out a little gray. So I'm hoping I can just be able to do the whole thing in a toile so I can have a sparkly snowman. I did get this bird done. I changed the color of that. I was pulling colors and I know I didn't have all the called for colors. And so I just was like changing colors as I went along. Not really, I don't remember why I changed the color of the bird itself. I don't remember. But I did pull a color in cotton for here. Not that I'm up there yet, but I do have the tree done. I've got his arms done. And this is stitched on a piece of, I got the note right here, 16 count in Haven. Picture this plus. I love these little like 8x12 or whatever pieces of Picture This Plus that I got from like 1, 2, 3 Stitch or whatever. Because I know I'm not going to need much more than this. So when I said I have the tree done, I know there's still red that's going to be throughout. There is a the star that still needs to be done too. But the little bird I did in a it's in a brown. $9.18 DMC. So yeah, you can see a little bit of the sparkle and the snow under the tree. And so then the bird is just done in a, like I said, a 918 DMC in a brown. So that's a little fun one. I can't imagine this would take a whole lot more to get finished. That snowman's got a little bit of heft to him, but not really sure why I haven't gotten that one completed yet. I guess, you know, like everything else, we keep squirrel, going to another project. So this next piece, this has been such a joy to stitch. I love this one. And I now actually have the a color picture that I can show all along through the month of December. I've not actually been able to have much of a picture to show because I didn't have the whole pattern yet. But I was, it is, and it's another Bendy Stitchy. It is called Crowned Winter. This was in the Forbidden Fiber Company's Advent box, and so the material and the floss were part of the whole thing. We got, so on the even days of December, we got a piece of the pattern and a floss color, and so then it all came together, and I love this piece. It's so pretty. I have the bulk of the house done. I have not filled in the windows on that one yet. Still have to finish the garland there. I have, well, we'll show it to you here in a second, but got the greenery done. Still have to put in the berries. Beautiful, beautiful colors out of this piece. Leanne at Forbidden Fibers did a great job dyeing these, and the material as well. So this has been really fun to stitch. And the material, I mean, we got a huge piece of material, and it is not going to be anywhere near that size. So I'll be able to find stuff here. Use this for something else. So the material is 14 count Aida Winter Sparrow. Again, dyed by Leanne. Lighting. That's pretty good. Pretty true, I would say. We'll go ahead and bring it in here. But that purple is so pretty. I did do, because the purple is variegated, I did it stitch by stitch. It completed each stitch as I moved along to try to see if there's some variegation that's coming out of there. There's not a whole lot. You can tell it's a little bit of a lighter purple over here compared to maybe up there, but so I was able to get all of the snow underneath the house done. The way the pattern was released, you very easily could have kept up with each, you know, have like the 2 days to stitch that portion before the next piece came out. But I stitched on a whole bunch of other stuff throughout the month, and so I didn't stick with this one like I could have. But it is stitching up fairly quickly. I stitched the whole purple of the house in one evening. I think I had a bunch of Flosstube videos playing, and I just stayed up and I just stitched and stitched. So, yeah. This has been a really fun one. Very pretty. It is definitely a little bit out of the norm of what I usually stitch. As you can see that, you know, I'm not into the more of the prim and the samplers and things of that nature. While there's some gorgeous pieces out there, those kind of things aren't what I'm drawn to. Which is fine. I mean, that's the whole point of the craft, is that there's, you know, something out there for everybody, right? So the next piece, I didn't bring the magazine over here, but it is from a Cross Stitch and Needlework September 2013. It is called the Spooktacular Treat Bag. I will not be making this into a trick-or-treat bag because A, I don't sew, B, I don't have kids to take trick-or-treating, so I mean, yeah, you can make it into a tote bag, but back to A, I don't have the sewing skills. I am not stitching this on that dark of a blue. When I wanted to start stitching it, I really didn't have much of a, sorry for shaking the camera. I didn't have much of a material collection, and so I found a piece of much lighter, and so I did have to adjust some of the grays within the house just so that they could show up better. But yeah. And this is stitched on a piece of 18 count, I want to say it's in pewter? I don't remember. Like I said, it's much lighter. But yeah, so I just have like kind of the bottom half of the house to do with the grass, the pumpkins, but that top portion is completely done. That moon was a beast to stitch, but I got the bat in there. That is back stitched, and the roof is all back stitched. The detail out of that roof just has made it come to life. I know houses don't have lives, but it just put it all together, because there's like 2 or 3 different greens for the roof itself, and lots, again, back to quarter stitches, so fractional stitches, and the back stitching just, you know, put in that detail so that it just didn't look like a bunch of green patch, I guess. So cute little sign there that says boo. I backstitch that in. I still have a spider to put on there and backstitch around it and put in the post. So yeah, this one, I started that one forever ago. I don't even remember now when I started it, like 2016 maybe. It's been out there languishing for quite a while. So maybe next year I'll actually get it finished. And so we've got another digital, where I don't have the picture. This is Minnie, The Stitching Moon. Artwork is by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth. And I actually just eked out a page finish. I literally, before I started filming, I just finished the page. So there are 20 pages total. I just finished page 10. I do know that it is more than halfway because like the bottom portion of the pages are much smaller. But I know I'm further along than 50%. So, page-wise, I'm halfway done. This is stitched on another piece of 16 count white Aida. So while it is a mini, it's decent size. Had this been a full, had I done the full size, it would have been probably as big as my eagles. And if you've been here before, I just finished, or if you haven't been here, I just finished stitching Together We Stand by Jody Bergsma, Another Heaven and Earth, and it was massive. So yeah, there we go. So the page finish that I just finished page that I just finished was right in here. Oh, wow. You know, when you're stitching something, and I just heard Caroline Off the Grid Needlework, Off the Grid. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. Talk about when you're right in front of a piece, and she was more talking about the coverage and how, you know, you need to step back. You know, are you happy with your coverage from stepping back versus when you're right in front of it? And because this page was so confetti heavy, there was this little blob right here that I got to thinking this morning, I wonder what this piece looks like stitched up in the regular version, because I know they say that when you go to a mini, it ends up being, you lose like 30% of the detail. And so it just makes me wonder if you could see, or what this would look like as the full version. And so, because again, it was just looking like this blob, but as soon as I saw it through the camera, the detail just kind of popped out at me. So sorry for dropping that right away. What really popped out at me was this right here. It's her hand stitching, you know, because, and I'm seeing it again now too, this is the material that's starting to, like, you know, drape down beside her. And so it's ruffled, I guess, because of the way it's in the hoop. So, I don't know, it's just, the way the detail just popped was just, I mean, you saw my reaction. It was kind of funny. It was incredible how it came together. And so it was just the hand. Like, to me, when I'm looking right in front of it, that this part right here is just a blob because of how many different color changes. But seeing it through the camera, I'm actually seeing her hand, like the way I stitch, you know, like where you go to grab your needle, kind of like that. So, and the color of her legs now is just looking amazing. If you didn't see a video, I don't remember, it's been a couple of weeks now, that I told a story about how I was using the wrong color list it was actually for Dark Goddess. So I was using completely the wrong shades. I was putting this neon pink along the lines of this blue that something just wasn't looking right. And so then I was putting the wrong colors within her legs, and I had to pull that out and restitch it. And just the detail that I'm seeing through the camera compared to when I'm seeing it right in front of my face is just, it's incredible. So I'm loving the colors, the stars against that blue. Oh my goodness. I just love it. So I started this sometime in, I think, 2018. This has by no means been any kind of a focus piece, and so we'll have to change that someday so I can actually get it done. All right, guys, and so we are actually down to my last WIP. So this is not going to be a movie like a lot of other people. While I have more WIPs now than what I did a year ago, I definitely am far from, you know, the hour and a half plus movies that people are putting out. So this was actually my new year, new start for 2020. I started it on the 1st, and I love this whole series. In fact, I got, I think it was number 10 pattern for Christmas yesterday. It is from Cottage Gardens Samplings, number 9 in the Songbird Garden series. Songbird Garden series. There is beauty and simplicity. My tummy just growled. I am hungry. And so I've gotten quite a bit done on it. And I still have this flower left to do, and then the stem to that little bud. Still have the bird to do. I'm actually trying to save him till last. I may get enough started of the tail so that I can count out properly to do these 3 little flowers here, but I'm really wanting to save that bird for last because he's so pretty. And I realized as I was ironing this today that the piece of material I have, I don't know, I think I just started in the center that I didn't need this big of a piece, but not enough to cut off now that I'm thinking about it, because I have some huge margins, and it is not going to be anywhere near that's the whole piece of material. but it's not going to be anywhere near that because it is as tall as it's going to be. It's as wide as it's going to be. So I don't know how I ended up. Like I said, I think it was just a matter of I had a piece of material that not enough to cut off, so I just started stitching on it. This is stitched on a piece of 18 count fiber on a whim in slate. That house is so cute. I love it. So actually last night, after all of the Christmas festivities, I came home and I stitched and I stayed up quite late. And I do have a little bit of the one of the petals starting over here. So I just went to my sister's house and my mom and my nephew were there. And then my sister's in-laws. So not too many of us. But yeah, very pretty. I love this piece. So I don't know that I'm actually planning on starting anything this year for New Year, New Start. I really don't have a whole lot together. I did place an order for some pieces that, some threads, but nowhere near did I think in time to have ordered it sooner to give time for the shipping process and everything. And then I also ordered a piece of material, just an online order with Bestitch Me, that, I mean, I ordered it, I think, early December, and so of course it's, you know, she's 8 to 12 weeks out, so of course there's no way that's gonna get here in time. So that'll just be a new start for me whenever I get the stuff in, I think. So I think that, well, that's definitely it for me for the WIP Parade today, and I really appreciate everybody checking me out, and I hope you like what you see. Maybe I've enabled a little bit, I don't know. And if you want to keep coming back, I really would appreciate that if you hit that subscribe key. So I hope everybody has a wonderful stitching weekend, and keep watching those WIP parades. I know there's going to be a lot of them out there. So hope everyone has a wonderful day and keep stitching, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.